Well, I'm sure all of us know about her, Ellen DeGeneres, a famous American comedian with her notable The Ellen DeGeneres Show. She built her career on being nice, charming, and funny, but now that is in jeopardy, and let me tell you why. Once hailed as the Queen of Nice, Ellen DeGeneres' crises seem to have taken over any discourse about the comedian and talk show host. Despite still ending each show with the phrase, "Be kind to one another," as she has for years,
and be kind to one another. Bye.
2020 allegations about her show's toxic environment seem to have overshadowed 19 seasons of her eponymous hit talk show, the rest of her career, and even her work as friendly but forgetful Fish Dory in the hit Disney Pixar films Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. We can see how it all went downhill when her famous show wrapped up. Everything started straight and narrow. As the Ellen DeGeneres Show became a daytime TV hit over the past 2 decades, rumors simultaneously circulated that DeGeneres was not actually as nice in person as the show portrayed her to be. But the cracks have spread over the years and become significantly obvious during a memorable, uncomfortable interview on her show.
How dare you? I am out of here.
Later, former employees began speaking up about what a terror it was to work on the show.
Stop talking!
The discourse kept growing. Celebrities chimed in, some defending her and some affirming what former staffers had said.
Bitch.
Other previous employees went on the record to address their own negative experiences with Ellen DeGeneres. And finally, in July 2020, 2 scathing reports of a nightmare workplace and producers sexually harassing their junior staffers were published, leaving the public image of the show and DeGeneres herself in disarray. I know, I was as shocked as everybody else when I heard about this. And obviously, Ellen acknowledged that the show has its faults. On day 1 of our show, I told everyone in our first meeting that the Ellen DeGeneres Show would be a place of happiness. No one would ever raise their voice, and everyone would be treated with respect, DeGeneres wrote, apologizing in a letter to her staff about the report's allegations. Obviously, something changed, and I am disappointed to learn that this has not been the case. And for that, I am sorry. Anyone who knows me knows it's the opposite of what I believe and what I hoped for our show. That letter preceded the report in which allegations of sexual misconduct against her producers were published. Though she hasn't been directly accused of outright malpractice, every part of the show operates under DeGeneres' name and specific brand of relentless kindness. At best, the patron celebrity TV host of niceness just may not have known what was happening to her staffers. At worst, she knew and ignored, or even participated in, what a toxic workplace her show had become. Also in January 2020, when Dutch beauty guru Nikki DeJager, known as Nikki Tutorials on YouTube and other social media, posted a video titled, "I'm Coming Out." In the video, she talked about something nobody on YouTube knew. She was born in the body of a male, meaning that she is transgender. From here, media outlets and drama channels all started talking about this, since there really isn't any other drama about Nikki since she is just unproblematic like that. Naturally, The Ellen Show invited her to come on for a segment. So there we all sat, watching our screen to see this queen, and she seemed to be having a good time. We were wrong. Sometime after appearing on Ellen, Nikki went on another talk show, this time in her home country. In the most respectful way possible, she basically called Ellen a B. Apparently, she didn't greet Nikki before the show. She was cold and distant, and didn't even allow her to use the bathroom. Someone on Twitter then came and asked people to share their favorite stories of Ellen being a mean person. From there, many former employees on social media have come out and admitted that Ellen was not their favorite person to work with, to say the least. Someone said, "I worked at Real Food Daily, served her and Portia at brunch. She wrote a letter to the owner and complained about my chipped nail polish. Not that it was on her plate, but just that it was on my hand. I had worked till closing the night before, and this was the next morning. I almost got fired." A former employee said that she has a sensitive nose, so everyone must chew gum from a bowl outside her office before talking to her, and if she thinks you smell that day, You have to go home and shower. Like, what? Oh, you thought this was it, didn't you? Well, guess what? There's more. When the pandemic hit and we all went into lockdown, Ellen needed to figure out the logistics of filming from home and paying her employees. So, what did she do? Well, first and foremost, her employees did not receive written confirmation or information regarding their new working hours or pay for over a month. Now, this isn't completely Ellen's fault and could probably be blamed on other show executives, but it is still worth mentioning within this answer. During this lockdown, it also bothered regular crew members that non-union workers were hired to film at her house. They were also informed that they would be receiving a 60% pay reduction despite the show continuing to air and therefore likely making the same amount of money. The cherry on top for most people was during one of these at-home segments of her show where she compared the lockdown to being in jail, saying, "Being in quarantine is like being in jail. It's mostly because I've been wearing the same clothes for 10 days and everyone in here is gay." Now, this was obviously just intended to be a joke, but many people did not think it was funny that she was comparing her lavish multi-million-dollar home to a prison where people are literally dying from COVID-19. Now, that was hella irritating. I'm sure we all know that Ellen is the queen of making people uncomfortable. But this one is really stupid. At that time, Justin's nudes were leaked, and Ellen had no problem with putting his nudes in front of the audience on national television. His nudes, guys! His nudes! And you can obviously see how uncomfortable Justin was feeling as he covered his face and told her to stop. But did she? And let's not forget how she forced Mariah Carey to drink alcohol so that she can confirm she was pregnant. And also that time when she asked BTS if they have ever hooked up with a fan. Ellen is the queen of making guests uncomfortable at her show, and she did live up to that title though. Ellen has been and is still receiving a bunch of backlash over this recently. I think it is pretty hypocritical of her, since she is known for being so kind and stuff. I mean, that is what her entire talk show is about, spreading kindness. Her DJ Twitch and his wife have actually come forward and shut down any negative comments towards Ellen. They believe all of what has been said is false and that Ellen is the nicest person alive. Who will ever know, right? What about you? Be sure to let me know what you think. I will see you in another episode of Celebverse.